All right, everybody, welcome to Best of NWF's NXT After Show, October 28, 2015. Now, after a very disappointing Raw where it was the Roman Reigns show, it was nice to get back to some NXT action. To start off tonight's matchups, you have Emma, and the opponent she was against, I didn't catch her name, but I do remember one of the announcers calling her Bo Peep for the sake of this, since she was a glorified jobber in this. I'm going to call her Bo Peep. It was nice to see Emma out there having a match. I think Emma is probably the best wrestler in NXT right now. I mean, no offense to Bayley, but I think Emma has a little more refined in the ring, and I'm really hoping that it's Emma versus Bayley sometime soon. So Emma picks up the squash match. Nice to see her pick up a victory. Nothing against her opponent. I mean, you know, she's probably just started off in NXT's getting a TV spot, so that's good for her. After that, we had some tag team action. We had Jason Jordan versus Chad Gable versus Tommaso and Ciampa. And the crowd is so hot for Jordan and Gable. And, you know, they really like, Tommaso, not Thomas. Tommaso, they really are into him as well. So, and this is what tag team wrestling is all about. When you have two very good tag teams, two units that are really solidified together, and it's really nice to see, because, you know, in Raw, a lot of times we have these weird matches and six-man tags, and it's nice to have a tag team matchup straight up, and you know, two teams just going at it. The crowd was hot. The crowd is hot for both sides of almost every match, and it's nice because the energy, no matter who's in command of the match, the crowd's always hot for it. And something that Raw really lacks, because, you know, you have different matchups where the WWE is trying to push certain guys and the crowd's not really behind it. I mean, there are fans, I mean, don't get me wrong, but in those big 15,000 seat arenas, you don't really hear them. And then the fans that don't care, they're not making any noise at all. So in NXT, I just love the fact that no matter who it is, they'll cheer for both guys. I mean, and so when someone loses or wins, it doesn't matter as much because the crowd respects both teams. So Jason Jordan, Chad Gable picked up that victory. It was a hard-earned victory, and it was awesome tag team action. I just don't understand why they can't do this on the main roster. After that, we have, now hopefully I got this name right too, we have Kaylee Ray, which I haven't seen on NXT before. I don't remember seeing her before, versus Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax, I said in her debut, she had like one of the worst outfits ever. And tonight, she had a much better outfit that suited her character to a T. The all black with the extra paneling on it. It looked really good. It fit her very good. Kaylee Ray, she looked like a twig next to Nia Jax. And I'm kind of interested how they're developing Nia Jax's character. But she comes out smiling and all this, but she's really a monster, at least looks-wise. So, and they did play up that she's, you know, related to The Rock. I don't know if that hurts her or helps her. I don't think they really need to say it that much. But, you know, she gave a good effort. It was another squash match trying to show her dominance. But I'm just happy she changed her outfit. She looks 1,000 times better. So Nia Jax obviously picks up the victory there. After that, we're going to have another tag team match. We have Enzo and Big Cass coming to the ring. And, you know, I feel like their heat has kind of faded a little bit, and you know, they could have been the hottest thing in NXT, period. At a time, I think they were. I think they were hotter than the champion for sure. But they never seem to pick up victories, and I'm not sure why. And this kind of happened to the Vaudevillains as well. The Vaudevillains got really popular, and then they kind of disappeared for a while. They lost a lot of matches. Now they're tag champs. I don't know why they kind of skipped over Enzo and Cass, because, like, if you watch the NXT from Brooklyn, they were on fire. And a lot of times in the NXT arena, they are on fire. They are the show. So, they're coming to the ring. Enzo's giving his normal introduction, and when Wilder and Dawson attack him from behind. And I love this. Wilder and Dawson acting as true heels, attacking their opponents when their backs are turned. This is another thing that I don't understand why they don't do on the main roster more. This is setting up a good feud, but I really hope this feud is to serve Enzo and Cass. Because they just have a great dynamic together. They have a great presentation. They have great catchphrases. The crowd can get into it. They're like a great package together. They're so different, but they work together so well as a team. So that wasn't even a match. We were going to have a match with Wilder and Dawson beat them down, and that was the end of that. For the main event, we were going to have Tyler Breeze versus Samoa Joe. And, Tyler Breeze, and I've said this before, he just hasn't really gotten his shot yet in NXT. And I know he, debuted on SmackDown last week, and that's nice. But I hope they have a proper send-off for Breeze in NXT, because he's really been the workhorse. He's been kind of the gatekeeper to the main event of NXT. The crowd is behind him now. He delivers so well on his gimmick, and this is the perfect example of the story arc of a lot of the greatest wrestlers ever. They start off, maybe they have a bad gimmick, and they turn it into something amazing. And I'm not comparing him directly to The Rock or Stone Cold or Triple H, but those guys started off with some pretty shitty gimmicks, and they took that and they made it work, and they were so good as bad guys, they became good guys. And I hate to keep getting back to it, but I think on the main roster, they need to work on that a little more, portraying these characters as what they are. I mean, the greatest wrestlers of all time, from the Attitude Era, arguably all started off as excellent heels, and they were so good at it and so entertaining. That's when they became baby faces. So I think sometimes now, I know Cena even started off as a heel and became the babyface, but I think they had babyface Cena for so long in the Hulk Hogan mode that they think that they can push people like that, and they just can't do that anymore. After the Attitude Era, you got to show something to that crowd, and when you talk about casual fans, and you talk about they're the small vocal minority, I don't think so. I think if you portray the characters well, the casual fans will want to watch, because it'll be something that everyone's talking about. So the vocal fans, that's your base. That's the people you should be rallying, because those are the people, when they're excited and you're flipping the channels, if you're flipping through the channels and you see it on and the crowd's hot for it, you're probably going to stop and start, what is this? Why are these people cheering? What's going on here? Opposed to, you have half your audience cheering for Cena and the other half is like dead quiet, depressed. I mean, flip the channel. I mean, it's not exciting. Whereas NXT always seems to be exciting. Like I was going to say, is Samoa Joe's fan favorite, and Tyler Breeze is a fan favorite because the NXT audience respects what he's done for NXT for all these years. And like I was saying, I really hope he gets a proper send-off, and I hope on the main roster he gets a genuine like feud or a story or a plan or something. I mean, I hope they didn't just bring him up because they didn't know what to do with him. Fandango, he had one of the worst gimmicks, but it started really working, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. So this was a nice little match. I always feel like with Samoa Joe, he's like holding back on these, and I don't know if they're telling him to or not, but I know he's capable of way more. I don't know if he's saving that for these takeover specials or what. And I notice that a lot with these NXT guys. They save a lot for the takeover events. But I think they need to start kicking up the action a little bit on just the regular NXT show. Samoa Joe picks up the victory. He gets him in the clutch. It was a pretty entertaining match. And I wonder where Joe's going from this. And I'm interested where Breeze is going from this. Who does Joe feud with after this? Because Baron Corbin he already beat. Rhino he's already fought and beat. Balor's going against Apollo Crews. So I'm really interested where Joe goes from here. You know, Tyler Breeze, it looks like he's making his ascent to the main roster, which is nice as long as he has a story. I don't want him to be like Bo Dallas. He just shows up, or Adrian Neville. He just shows up and that's it. So Samoa Joe or Tyler Breeze, I mean, I wish him the best in the world because he's good at what he does, and he has a horrible gimmick, but he makes it work. And then for Samoa Joe, I really hope they give him a high caliber feud. I mean, Joe kind of does look a little out of place in NXT. He has a presence that you could tell that he's a polished veteran, and he doesn't really have anything to prove in NXT, and I think that's where it kind of shows. There's some exciting matchups too. I don't think they're using him on. I don't know if they're saving it, but I want to see more Joe. I want to see more Breeze. I definitely want to see Enzo and Cass get something going. I don't understand what's going on with them. Nia Jax, happy with her improvement. Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, wow, they're just on fire right now. And Emma, I really hope she gets a crack at that women's championship. So, for Best of NWF, this was our Raw. This was our NXT After Show. I wish Raw was this good. And until next time, we are out.